Hello, our loves. Welcome to Authentic Living with Tepa. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Authentic Living with Tepa. I'm so excited to be back to what I love, to my passion, to speaking with you guys, to sharing my life journey with you guys, and to keeping it real with you guys. It's been a minute. It's been a decade since I've vanished from making content, and I'm back, like I'm saying, and it's quite refreshing because I'm coming back to something that I love, something that defines me, something that defines bigger part of my life, and which is talking to you guys, sharing experiences, learning from you, and also sharing what I've learned throughout the years with you. And like I always say, I've always believed that my calling, my biggest calling, is use my greatest gift, which is my voice, to impact people, be through my profession, psychology, be through inspirational speaking, be through just conversations that I hold with people. I believe my voice is my strongest asset, and I've been keeping it down. I've been keeping it quiet, and I'm back, and I'm so happy to be interacting with you over and over again. So yeah, where have I been? Where have I been? Why are you back? Where have you been, Tapa? As I was preparing to just have this conversation with you, I just thought of how it has been 4 years since I graduated from university, and I was also reflecting on how hard I have been to myself about not being able to accomplish some of the things that define success in other people's lives or in their life that we're living today. And I was just trying to comfort and console myself to say, you just came, Tapo, you just landed post-graduation, and it's not that you are not doing very bad, and that is precisely a big part of the conversation that I'm going to have today with you guys, just to share with you my 4-year journey post graduation, where I've been, and where I'm coming back to content creation, and coming back to doing what I love, which is speaking to you guys. And it's been 4 years, like I said, since I graduated from university, and I was among the blessed ones. I don't know if I should say blessed now or delayed ones to find a job, but delayed in a sense of how I'm feeling right now. Just when I was still even in university, I was amongst the blessed one to have a job, to secure a job even before graduation, because I started volunteering earlier into my university days. And immediately when I finished, that is 2021 October, I just got absorbed into the working class, and I started working for the private sector, which is the CSO domain, or CSO, which is civil society organizations. And it has been quite a ride, and I've learned so many things along the way, and it has shaped me to be the person that I am today. So what happened after school? I immediately went into the world of work, and I don't know. I've always known that I was an NGO girly. I didn't want to work for government, but I've always had a dream of corporate and NGO world, and I think it's because of the either introduction of the NGO world or the helping profession in my life. I got introduced to the helping profession earlier in my life. Even before I pursued a degree in psychology, I was already volunteering, working with young girls and helping them out in terms of life skills and everything. So that has shaped my world. That is all I have ever known, you understand? And it shaped my world in a way where all my dreams and aspirations, I made them around NGO. I made it around, corporate civil society, serving the people, serving the community development, and all of those things. So when I got my first job, I was so young, and it was in a village. And mind you, I was in Gaborone for 5 years before that, because of schooling here in Gaborone, and then I went to work in a village. For me, I felt like it was okay, because I didn't want anything that the lifestyle of the city to kind of like interfere with my first experience of like working for myself, having my own money and all of that. So I accepted the offer because it was also close to home. I was still a bit naive. I just still needed my mom to hold my hand throughout the whole process. And I was actually working 20 kilometers from where my mom works, and it was a very rural place, and everything was cheap, everything was okay. But one thing that I can draw from that season of my life is that I don't want to say I was ill-advised. Actually, nobody advised me, but I thought I had time, and I didn't make concrete plans about my life. I just go with the flow and having the excitement that I didn't have to struggle like any other graduate. The money was very good for someone who starts, and the lifestyle that I was leading was quite cheaper, but it was nice for a 21, how old was I, 24-year-old or 23-year-old. Yeah, so I got to live that season of my life. And then one thing that I think it's worth sharing is the conflict of getting into an already established system, and you come as a young ambitious little girl who wants to go up the ladder, the NGO ladder, and you want to progress, you want to impose change into the already existing programs, and you get there and you're just shocked for it. It doesn't work like that, girl. You just got here, having to live through being labeled as a UB girl, my UB, my educated. We were deemed to be very fast forward. Maybe we were very true forward, but we're just ambitious. And I think at that moment we needed mentors who could who could just channel our energy into the right approach of effecting the change that we wanted to see. So for me, it was quite difficult. I'm a very strong-willed person. Some people say I'm stubborn, and in a good way though. I'm very persistent, and it rubbed me off in a very bad way. And I remember I was constantly having fights with my manager, and I remember I would go into therapy and all I talk about it's her. I feel like they're not doing things the right way, they're not giving us a chance, and just trying to reflect on that part of my life. I think to a certain degree it was our approach as the young ones that triggered some kind of emotions from the older generations that we found doing the job. Because how can you just come from UB and think the NGO world, this program? Well, I didn't know it that much, but it was just a matter of the two generations meeting each other halfway to see how we can integrate ourselves into the system and help improve things and make them more sustainable. So yeah, that is me. I worked in the village for about 2 years. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. Yeah, 2.5 years, I think. And that is where I got a chance to start the business, the tutoring business and the counseling business, which did extremely well for a beginner rather. And when I reminisce, I have mixed feelings about it. I was actually making even double the salary that I was getting at the time, and it was so sustainable, but it was done by an immature version of myself. I didn't know more about business principles, financial principles, how to reinvest back into the business and all of those things. And I think I choked in my own saliva, you know, and it's something that I reflect on right now, and I draw so many lessons from that experience. And I think the one thing that made it quite easy as well, it was just the young card, you know. There's a young girl who just finished school, who's trying to do something for themselves. So people were really supporting the business, I think, for the fact that I'm a young black woman. And I think advice to the young ones out there, please use the young card, the young female black card. For as long as you still have it, use it, because it actually opens doors for you, certain doors that you can't open when you're 35, you can't open when you're 45. And it's something that I think really launched me, and I was credible, I was visible, you know. I still had a lot of energy, and the world of work, well, didn't take so much of a toll in me then. I was still okay. I was not tired as I am now, because I'm tired. I don't know who's tired, but I'm tired too. So yeah, started business. I was working on the side. It was going good, and mind you, there's not much of business people in my family. Well, I don't think even 99% of people, 99% of my family members are working class, and we have always been encouraged to finish school, do a good course, and get a job. And you know, when I got a job and I didn't struggle, it was like, okay, I'm in the right track. But business-wise, my mom didn't even understand it in the beginning. I remember there was a time where I was running 2 centers in villages that are 80 kilometers apart, and you know, my mom thought it was going to be difficult for me, but I think I handled that quite well, and I could see what I have the business instinct in me, the business, you know, genetics in me. So yeah, it was something that just came out of the blue. I've never seen anyone do it at home. Only one uncle had a tech shop when I was growing up. Yeah, we didn't have like businessmen and women in our family. But yeah, I think I was the second one to do, or the first one to do, a very big business of that magnitude as a tutoring center. And that's when I realized that entrepreneurship is something that I really want to do. And the other thing that sparked the interest in me was one lecture that I had back in university. I love her so much, Professor Peko. She always used to make a visual presentation of how the pool of employment is so full, and the pool of self-employment has little people, that we shouldn't try to get jobs, but also we should try to create the jobs for ourselves and for the others. So that is some of the principles, or some of the beliefs and teachings that were installed in me at university level. And I thought, you know what, I want to do this, and I did it. I did it right, fresh from school. Actually, I did a tutoring center, I think in September, and then 3 weeks later I got a job. So it's something that I started right fresh from university, and it took off quite well. So I worked, and you know, my whole goal was to climb the NGO ladder. You know, I wanted to just grow from being a community health worker up to programs officer, senior programs officer, you know, coordinator, manager, technical director, you know, and eventually become, you know, a CEO, or eventually become like the biggest man or biggest girl out there. So I invested myself in learning more from the people who have already done it before, and I did quite climb the ladder, but it was very limited. I remember from October 2021 to October 2022, I was already promoted to programs officer, and you know, I was doing quite well, and I was impressing my bosses. Then I was transferred to Gaborone, you know, and I was now a big girl, you know, junior manager, and everything was going quite well. But one thing that I'll always remember as a working girl, because I'm no longer working, as a working girl, one thing I'll always remember is that you live in constant fear, especially in NGOs. You're constantly fearing, come September or come end of the financial year, what if they don't renew my contract, because we work on a contract basis. It's a 1-year contract. Even if the program is 5 years and if the program is 3 years, you still get 1-year contract just like everyone. And then there's this thing of performance reviews, because their numbers don't lie. We work with numbers. If you don't bring in the numbers, if you don't bring in the results, you are gone. So we were living in constant fear, and I'm of this notion that anything that brings fear to you, it's slavery, it's bondage. And I don't believe that something that is good, I believe that something that is good in your life should liberate you, but not enslave you. So if you're constantly watching over your shoulder, and you're constantly thinking of what if this ends, it's even in love, it's not it for me. I don't believe that. So we were constantly chasing contracts. Okay, am I pleasing the right people? Am I doing the right things? Am I bringing the results? And eventually, whether your contract will be renewed or not. And I think over the years, also one thing that I did during employment was chasing the most paying job. It was not even chasing the most fulfilling job. And mind you, in our country, the government doesn't necessarily hire us. We are hired by the private sector. And as an NGO girl, you just know that you're about to rotate all these 10, 15 major NGOs until you get old. So I found myself in the trap of checking out which NGOs are hiring, which one has a better grade. Even if it's 500 below on top, you would want to go and work there. And that is when it came to pass that last year around March, the NGO that I was working for, their contract had finished, or their funding had finished, and another one won the funding. So guess what? Miguel wants to jump ship and go to the one with the bag. So obviously the one with the bag liked me and they got me, and that entailed me leaving Gaborone to go and work in a certain town, and that brought about so many things in my life. It was a very difficult moment of my life, because I had created a base here. I had tried to resuscitate my businesses from the village. Remember when I was in the village, I felt so left out. I felt like my personal development was going down. I felt like I could do so much, but I can't, because I'm limited. There are no resources, there's no audience. I tried to make a living or to improve my personal development or my social life while I was there, but it was not working. So when I came to Gaborone around February 2023 until March 2024. That was almost a year and 2 and a month, and I had to chase another paycheck. So it was not fulfilling for me. It was hard living my life that I built here in Gaborone, that I tried to continue here in the city. And I had peaked at that moment. I was visible again. People could remember me again. I was trying to resuscitate things, and I had to let that go, because I was chasing the salary, I was chasing the longest contracts and all of that. So where I was working recently, I actually worked there for only 10 months until the biggest thing happened in the world. I think all of us NGOs people are so affected by this, because if you remember well, we get aid from United States of America. United States of America. For a moment there, English left my head. But USA, PAFA, there was a stop order that happened, and we were supposed to stop working. And I was just from a very long leave. Prior to the end of that leave, I was contemplating, because my partner was constantly telling me, Tapa, you can do this. You're good in business, because it's helping me out in helping him out in his businesses, and you could see that part-time I'm doing well also in business, because I launched the business also where I was working, and because my business is mostly virtual, I do virtual counseling most times and consulting. I was doing quite well, and he was like, Tapa, you can do this. So I was busy contemplating on, should I go back to work after this leave or should I not, and the universe was busy talking to me in so many ways than one. And it was all the signs were leading to self-employment, type of self-employment, work for yourself. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, because I've been, denying the fact that I might just be cut out for entrepreneurship. And I don't want to lie, even right now I'm still afraid. I'm doing it. I'm still afraid, but I'm doing it anyway, because I've realized that if I don't do it now, when will I get on with it? I'm doing it because I know that I'm still young. I still have a bit of time. If I fail, which I doubt, which I am willing to fail, I have another chance to try again, do it again, over and over and over again. But what I know is that I've come to a decision that I don't want to work anymore. I'm taking this bold step that I want to work for myself. I want to continue my own thing, and I'm really hoping to get support from people like you, people who have grown with me, people who have seen me grow, people who have seen me be the woman that I am right now. And because I believe that if I am self-employed, I'll be fulfilling. It will be self-fulfilling for me, because I'm my happiest when I'm doing counseling. I'm my happiest when I'm working from my own computer, my own cell phone. I'm at my happiest when I work at my own specific hours. I'm able to do so many things for myself. I have so much time to myself, and it makes me happy. And it's something that I can do even when I've just closed my eyes. It's something I can do in my sleep, you understand? So I just realized, it's time, because a lot of my friends have said this to me, Tapa, you can do it, go for it. My partner has said it, deeply thought about it so many times. Tapa, how many times should I tell you? Do it, girl, go for it. So yeah, I'm finally going for it. And the other thing that I think it's worth mentioning is that the first month of the year we did fasting in church, and I was busy telling God, redirect me, show me what to do. Should I go back to work in February? Should I not? And the stopwatch came. The stopwatch actually came, I think, 3-4 days before I had to go back to work. And I was like, God, what are you doing? Say, what are you doing? I need salary. Because I was in an unpaid leave. I was like, Jehovah, do you know how much I miss my 4-figure salary? I miss it. I want to do my hair and nails. But the Lord said, there's a stop order, my child. And I was like, this is another major sign that I shouldn't go back there. And that was it for me. I said, what? This is it. I am jumping right into it. But yeah, there is more that I want to share, and I just don't want to bombard you with a lot of it. But one thing that I realized from this whole journey of working is that I was in love with the perfect picture, because I've always had this perfect picture in my head of me walking into the big buildings of United Nations, carrying my suitcase and addressing the media. That has always been my biggest dream. If you know me, you know this imagination, this picture that I always paint. But I didn't realize that it takes so much, or it takes so much to get there, especially with the systems that are in place in the NGO world, in the country that I live in. You find out that there are people who are just there, who have been there for about 25 years, and they're underqualified. You are overqualified, you're underexperienced, and they're just systems, and people and cultures that won't allow you to get there in time or in the time that you have planned to. So I was just so much stuck in the picture, the perfect picture of the UN, and to get to the top, it takes a lot in this country to get to become the biggest girl, to play in the biggest girl league in NGOs here. It's no child play. You would have to lose some of yourself, some parts of yourself, because I remember there was a time I was just losing my mind, even therapy was not gonna help me then, and I was just surviving. I was not living, I was surviving, and it was a bad space in my life, I don't want to lie. And me being away from work for some time actually showed me how peaceful my life can be without work. But I still needed to be more convinced about it. I can live without work. And one major thing that I've realized is that one major thing that is coming that I am willing to sensitize you for free is that the world of work is going. Today it's a retrenchment, tomorrow it's a robots, because they are here. If you haven't researched about AI yet, please, after this video, after liking this video and subscribing, make sure that you search AI. There are robots that can clean, robots that can make food, robots that can do industrial work. It's so crazy, and they are coming at us fast, and they are here to take our jobs, and eventually the world of job will be, instinct. It will be a thing of the past. Some jobs are going to go extinct altogether, and just a few will remain. So I'm just preparing myself for that, because I think it's very close. In Botswana, we are probably about 2 years away. Touch my hand, you'll tell me when it happens, and you'll see I said it on this channel. So yeah, it was another biggest push to actually let it go and do my own thing. So what's next for me now? I'm going back to business full-time now. I'm going to be diversifying a lot. You know me as a psychological counselor. I'm a therapist. I do psychological consulting. I'm an educational consultant. I do tutoring for kids, especially breakthrough classes. I help kids with learning disabilities. So I'll still be doing that. I'll still be doing psychometric tests for kids who need help, who have learning disorders, and do breakthrough classes, continue with counseling and psychological consultancy advice. And also going to go into content creation. It's a growing industry, and I'm going to be there trying to find my niche and see what I really want to go into in terms of content creation. And then I'm also going to focus on this other new role in my life that is so fulfilling, guys. Oh my god. So I'm gonna continue being a great mom that I am. Yes, you guys, a mom. You can see the glow. He makes me so happy. So yeah, I'm gonna embrace that. So you're gonna see more of that in my content creation. And then lastly, I want to be intentional about taking care of myself, guys. I'm gonna get small like a puff jail. I want to smell like a puff jail. Yeah, I don't want issues. I want to be intentional about the way I look, my personal brand in terms of my wardrobe, my etiquette, skincare, self-care. I seriously want to be intentional about that, because this is something that when someone becomes a mother, we totally forget about that. We don't want to invest much into looking good. We feel like, I'm a mother now, and it's not actually a good thing to do. So I want to be intentional about looking after myself and feeling good about myself and all of that. So yeah, that is me. That is what I'm gonna be doing next, and I hope that you take this journey with me. If you have any advice for me, please kindly drop it on the comment section. If you wish me well, please tell me. Please pray for me. Please support me. Please recommend me to your friends or anyone who might need my services. And help me grow in my social media platforms as well. Facebook, Tabo Strength Mafajani. Here on YouTube, you can subscribe, you can share my channel so that other people can subscribe. You can like my video and watch it till the end. You can comment as well. And on Instagram, you can follow me on Tabo Strength, and also on TikTok as Tabo Strength. So those are the platforms that I'm willing to grow, and I'm willing to interact with you there. I also have my professional page, which is She Consults Therapy. That is the clinic that I'm running. It's also physical now. We have an address that I'll share very soon on my social media platforms. We will be accepting walk-ins and bookings and all the likes. So that is me, and thank you so much for constantly reminding me of what I like and who I am. And I hope to see you soon and interact with you in other platforms. Thank you so much for watching. See you again